this video, I'm going to talk about what's called the big domino. So usually when it comes to retail, there are so many problems, right? But there's one big problem that if we can provide a solution to that one big problem, all the other smaller problems can go away, okay? So a good example for this is, we'll say team 1 and team 2. Team 1 brings all of the product to team 2. And for whatever reason, team 2 always has to, move the product back to a different location, right? And so the small domino would be, okay, team 2, every time you get the products in this location, automatically move it to the second location. Versus the big domino, which is, as a leader, talk to team 1 and say, hey, team 1, put the product in this location so that way we can kill two birds with one stone, if that makes sense. So this happens a lot, especially when it comes to the operational side of the business versus the sales side of the business. And communication is a very tough thing for, especially new retail leaders sometimes, and that's one thing that you really, really need to practice on. It's a bad habit that you really need to move away from as quickly as possible, okay? Communication is key. Communication is one big domino. If you can grasp the idea of open communication within the teams that you're working with, you're gonna kind of mitigate so many different problems. Because if I'm uncomfortable to talk to team 1, right, so that way team 2 doesn't have a problem, I'm always gonna be fixing one problem, if that makes sense. But if I open up my communication, if I make myself a little bit more vulnerable in the sense that I'm saying, team 1, I'm gonna need your help, and I'm gonna need you to make sure that you keep your team accountable, that we're not gonna put all these products for my team at point A, I need it at point B. Most of the time, new leaders or retail leaders have trouble communicating because they think that, I don't want to step on people's toes, I don't want to have conflict, I don't want to have this, I don't want to have that. But actually, you're taken away from the efficiency of the actual, retail store. If you open up communication, if you talk about the problems without putting your personal, opinions, you don't get emotional about talking about it. If it makes sense, talk about it. That's a huge domino that most retail leaders don't utilize, right? If there's a problem, don't always fix the problem. You're gonna spend 6 months, 12 months fixing the same exact problem all the time. Think about what's causing the problem. Once you find the root cause of the problem, that is your big domino. So the next time you have a problem at your store, at your location, wherever it is that you work, find out what the problem is, but also find out what caused that problem, because that's your big domino. Once you find your big domino, I challenge you to open up your communication, talk to the team or the individual that's actually causing that problem, and see if that just makes everything kind of work a little bit more smoother, a little bit more efficient. But that's all I have for you today. The big domino is a huge thing, and I guarantee you it's going to provide you so much more success because you're going to spend a lot less time fixing the same problem, a lot more free time to continue